Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 8th of May. So, where are we now with the Euro? Well, yesterday saw some quite soft data coming out, some downward revisions in the growth numbers for the Eurozone, with most countries seeing a drop off. Now, perhaps that was well expected, but it did kick it for a little while. But as you can see, we ended up with a doji there, and looking more likely that we could see further upside. We'll see. We're a bit short with this monthly pivot at the moment. In fact, if I come down the time frames to the 60-minute, be fine. There we go. We're just short of that running back to that monthly pivot. Now there must be with the previous two attempts there must be stops and people expecting it to push on at some point. So either way, we could see that broken if it runs back up there. Now we could just as easy draw a trend line along these somewhere around these lows here. We're just breaking off. It's just after 8 o'clock. I'm sort of looking at this area. Okay, maybe a bit too early to be doing that. We'll let the 8 o'clock bar have at least half an hour of the 8 o'clock bar have its go here. But maybe if it breaks that 60-21, 60-50 area, there's a whole combination of moving averages there. If it breaks that lot, then perhaps we could see more of a correction. So maybe a bit down to yesterday's lows in the S1. Alternatively, if it does push up here, just be wary. It may just spike out, take orders out, and roll over as well. I'm not particularly bullish on the euro. I find it difficult to. Fundamentally, it's very weak. And we have got some further data out today at 12:30 if they come out, the monetary policy meeting accounts, which are due there at 12:30 today. So they may just mirror what was said before, but I am wary of them. Okay, so not a great deal. It's probably looking more towards what's happening further afield. Now, talking about not quite further afield though, the pound, well, that followed through and sold off yesterday and may still have further downside potential. I was looking at different levels here, and the trend line runs across this level around about here-ish. There we go. And it's just biting into that at the moment. If it breaks that area, okay, we've got the 4-hourly 50, which may provide support, but thereafter it's an open run really, maybe to further downside. Brexit negotiations continue, probably not very well, and it's going to be a tricky one, whatever. So maybe the odds for the downside at the moment, at least. Little else to be done here at the moment. As I said, my preference is to the technicals are showing me more downside. Fundamentally, it still remains a much stronger currency than quite a few others. Dollar yen, the long holiday, just seeing the dollar yen continues selling off. It didn't go back and fill gaps yesterday. It's down to its weekly S3 or just been down to the weekly S3. Is it going to bounce off that? We'll see, or already is, should I say? But is it going to get a more sustained bounce? It has possibility of getting back towards the weekly pivot, but it really has been a case of risk moving money, and this could really continue. I'd just watch out for selling coming in back into that 21 if you was looking at the long side. If it manages to break that, well then the pivot could be on, but really at the moment the route of less resistance is to the downside. Aussie dollar, if I can click on that right one, there we go. Aussie dollar, well, it saw a bit of a gain yesterday and then sold off. Where to next? Let's come into a 60-minute chart here and look at what's going on. Well, it's got quite a bit of resistance where it's sitting. It may manage to follow on in what was an earlier part of a trend before we saw the news. That was gifted back as would be expected, bearing in mind it was I thought it was questionable in terms of interest rate reductions quite so soon, but there we are. Anyway, at the moment, pushing onwards, maybe got more upside there. So let's just come down. Okay, 6 minutes. Right, so any break of these highs here may see it push on upwards. The dollar is softening a little bit with all the fear out there. Maybe the Aussie may take full advantage of that. Canadian dollar also strengthening. It's just up the time frames a bit there, just looking at it. But if you look on a daily basis, it's really struggling to go anywhere. It's range bound, and it may be a play back towards the lows here within the channel that's there. So there is that sort of possibility. Daily wise, it's really just not going too far at the moment. Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at this. Really, at the moment, it just looks like retracements, and it's to sell into may be the right move for the Canadian dollar at the moment. New Zealand dollar, just cover this on a 60-minute chart. There you go, the big spike down there. I've been warning of the New Zealand dollar's softness, but they've cut the interest rates there now, and there's a warning that there's possible another cut to come. Now, market expected a reduction apparently. I didn't see anyone actually saying it on this occasion that it would be a reduction, ironically. But anyway, with the extra reduction to come, I think the trend of this may just carry on sloping down at some point. May just want a daily pivot today, but may become a sell point. Right, that's pretty much there. I did look at the S&Ps yesterday. You get a few questions about the S&Ps. Well, pretty much sold from the live open, and continue to do so for most of the day. Then we get these reversals later on, unless there's something positive to be said out there. I think we might see more of the same. If you look at the dailies, it's had a little breakdown, tested that daily 50. Well, at the moment it looks like it could come back and test that and maybe break it. The 4 hourlies is showing lower highs, lower lows. Maybe a bit more correction due at the moment. We'll see. Okay, that's pretty much it. News-wise today, there is best part of nothing. There is a French bank holiday all day today. We've got little in the way of speakers. We've got speakers. Other information, we've just got speakers. We've got MPC speaker at 9:15 this morning, due to speak at the annual European Post-Trade Conference. There we go. Great. Right, have a great one. Bye for now.